Welcome back to my C4 drag race transmission build. This is part 5, and the modification we're going to do today is lighten a sun shell. This is something I normally don't do. I buy the part, but since the place that sells the parts, manufactures the parts, doesn't have them in stock anymore and they're out of cores, I decided to try and do one myself. So this is what my lightened one looks like. I did this yesterday. Just to see if I could do it. So now I'm going to do another spare sun shell that I have and do a video on it here. All right, I'm going to start out by weighing this stock sun shell, and I'll weigh it at the end of this video too and find out how much we actually lightened it by. So now for the layout, basically I have another transmission that has one of these that I bought, and so I just had to take the valve body off my other transmission and measure the triangles and measure some distance and came up with the layout. This is kind of what I ended up with when I did it. And while I'm sitting there on the mill, I'm making sure I'm at my right degrees when I'm milling stuff. So I'll put up a picture of this later and what it looks like and clean it up a little bit so it's understandable and give the dimensions for the size of the triangle too, and what size mill bit I'm using. Here's a flat pattern layout of the sun shell with the triangles on it. The upper picture is the distance of the triangle from the edge of the sun shell on the whole pattern, and this is used with a 1/4 inch bit. The lower pattern is the triangles going around the sun shell. As you can see, I started at 0 degrees, then every 30 degrees I milled a hole into the sun shell all the way across till I was all the way around. Then I moved my x-axis to do the other row, started at 15 degrees and went every 30 degrees until I was all the way around. And while I was at it, the bottom parts of the triangles, I milled those slots while I was on the mill. Then I took my whole rotary table off the mill and took a cut-off wheel and cut out the triangles then. So I'd mill less material, it'll take me less time to do some milling. And then I put the rotary table back on my mill table and cocked the rotary table sideways a little bit to where I could mill the other sides of the triangle. One other thing in the pattern layout, the pointed part of the triangle that's facing down here at the 45, I lined that up with the center part of this castle on the sun shell. Then the pattern continues that all the way through. This is what the sun shell looks like with all the holes drilled into the sun shell. You can see that I've drawn with a Sharpie the pattern of the triangles on it. While on the mill, I made slots at the bottom of all the triangles. The next step, I'll have to rotate my rotary table on my mill base so I can do the other two sides of the triangles. I'm all finished lightening my sun shell. It started out at 890 grams. I ended up at 725 grams, so that was an 18.5% weight savings. On a part this small, it's not too bad. One other thing, it saved me about $160. I did it myself. No cost to me. All it was a little bit of time. One other thing this helps do is get rid of fluid that gathers in the sun shell. Under acceleration, it's coming back. So it helps get rid of that fluid out of there and spinning around on the inside. So my next video is going to be on, I've got a full manual valve body that I'm going to do. So stay tuned.